guys, I'm Nadia and welcome to my September wrap-up video. Well, September is over if you haven't noticed already, and I managed to read 8 books in this month. But first of all, I have some exciting news. Exciting for me, that is. I started a book blog. I've been working on this for a month or so now, and I initially started on Blogger, but then I didn't like some of the stuff that I couldn't do, so I switched to WordPress, and now it's all ready, and I'm gonna be posting reviews of every book that I read there, and also some other stuff, and the link is in the description box, so please check it out if you want to. And let's move on to the books I read in September. So the first book I finished in September was The Titan's Curse by Rick Riordan. This is the third book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, and all I can say is I'm in love with the series now. Even though I'm not exactly the target audience because they're more middle school books, I really enjoy reading them. They're basically about Greek mythology, and Percy Jackson finds out that he's a demigod, and then monsters start attacking him and he has to go to this camp demigod, and it's all really cool. It's a fun, quick adventure book. Well, it's 5 books actually, but anyway, yeah, I highly recommend those books. So after that I read The Battle of the I can't say this, honestly. It's The Battle of the Labyrinth, which is the 4th book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. And what I liked most about this book was that Percy's character was starting to evolve more, and he was turning from a child to a teenager. And it also started reminding me more and more of Harry Potter, because in this book there was this scene where they had to follow a spider, and it reminded me of the Chamber of Secrets, where Harry and Ron had to follow a spider to the woods. It was such a flashback, but that doesn't really annoy me. I mean, yes, I do believe that the books are quite similar to Harry Potter, but they also have so many original things, and it becomes such a great story. Oh yeah, and I gave this and the previous one 5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I finished was Unknown by Melissa Pearl, the first book in the Elements trilogy, and I actually won this one on a Goodreads giveaway, which was really cool. So this is sort of a young adult indie book, which I hadn't read before, and the storyline was really interesting. It was about a princess whose kingdom is ruled by darkness, but there's this prophecy that says that 2 seekers are gonna come and lead it back to light. So yeah, I really liked that story. What I didn't like so much was the writing style. It was going a bit slower than I would like, and in the action scenes, which are not many, it was actually going fast through them, and in the other scenes that were more boring and slow, it was going slowly. So I didn't like that, and I ended up giving it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Now that I think about it, I might give it also 4, because I really like the storyline and I'm really looking forward to the rest of the series. And yeah, I think I have a feeling that the series is gonna pick up in the next books, but yeah, I have to get them. The next book I finished was Angelfall by Susan E. Yeah, something like that. I usually don't say that a series is my favorite unless I read more than 2 books. But I have a strong feeling that this series is going to become one of my favorites. But I can't say that with certainty before I read the second book. So this is a post-apocalyptic angel book, and it's about Penryn, whose sister has been taken by angels. So she tries to save her, and she comes across angels and rebels and all that crazy stuff. It's really full of action and full of witty dialogues. I was laughing out loud while reading this book. It had so many back and forths between Penryn and her love interest. Yeah, it's really great. I highly recommend this one if you like this kind of books. Of course, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was Looking for Alaska by John Green. I'm not going to say too much about it because I already did a separate review, which is going to be linked in the description box. But I really liked this book. I gave it 4.5 stars out of 5, just because I liked the first half of the book a bit more than the second half. But it was a great contemporary young adult book, and I liked it more than the Fault in Our Stars actually. So check out my review if you want to know more. So after that I read Middlesex by Jeffrey. Yeah, that's actually a Greek name, and in Greek it's pronounced Eugenides, but in English I think it's Eugenides or Eugenides? I don't know. Yeah, anyway, him. I was a bit hesitant to start this book because it's an adult non-fiction book, and I usually don't read those, and I thought it was going to be really slow with a lot of description and not much dialogue. But it turned out that it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's the story of Cal, who was born a hermaphrodite and raised as a girl and then switches to guy. And it's the story of not only him but also his grandparents and parents. It's really interesting. I didn't expect it to be, but it really was. and I would definitely recommend it if you like reading adult non-fiction books. It's really great. It's a bit thick. It's 750 pages, but don't let that scare you. It's really a good book, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, which is the 5th and final book of the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, and it was really good. So many questions are being answered. What I didn't like so much about this compared to the previous ones was that it was full of action. It was actually only action, and it didn't have those relaxed, more calm moments, and I was kind of missing this, so I ended up giving it 4 stars out of 5, which means that I still think it's a great book. I was just expecting a bit more from it, being the last book and all. The 8th and final book I read this month was The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen, and I wasn't planning to read a Sarah Dessen book, but Heather from Bookables started this Sarah Dessen book club, which is going to be linked in the description, and so I thought I'd give this a try. And yeah, I didn't like it so much. This is basically about a girl, Macy, whose father dies, and after that she becomes this control freak who wants everything to be perfect until she meets a guy who kind of brings her back to her normal self. In the beginning I was starting to think that this might be a good book, but then I realized how annoying Macy was. She couldn't get anything done. She wanted to talk to her mother but didn't. She wanted to quit her job but she didn't. She wanted to hook up with this guy but she didn't. It was really frustrating, and I think she ruined the whole book for me because I really liked every other character of the book. Yeah, the story wasn't that great either. It was so predictable and stereotypical. So I gave it 2 out of 5 stars, and I'm not reading any more Sarah Dessen books anytime soon. So that was basically all that I had to say. So let me know how many books you read this month, and if you've read any of those, or if you want to read any of those. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to comment and subscribe. See you next time. Bye!